Okay, this short screencast is designed for either AS or A2 sociology students who've either joined the course late or missed the first lesson. And the aim of this short video is to introduce you to the style of learning that's going to characterise your sociology course at either AS or A2 level this year. Before I explain the new learning method that we're going to use this year, let me briefly go through the structure of both the AS and the A2 course. So if you're doing AS Sociology, you do two exams, SY1 and SY2 next summer. And SY1 is the stuff that we're going to be working on for 2 lessons a week, starting with this introduction to sociology. And then SY2, we're going to do 1 lesson a week on the second exam paper from now until Christmas. And then after Christmas, we're going to be doing 2 lessons a week on SY2 and 1 lesson a week on SY1. And if you're a second year student, again the A2 course consists of 2 exam papers that you do next summer, and SY3, which is on politics, we're going to be working on for 2 lessons a week from now until Christmas, and then we're going to be doing 1 lesson a week on SY4, focusing on the world sociology component of that paper. And then after Christmas, we'll be doing 2 lessons a week on SY4 and 1 lesson a week finishing SY3. Okay, some dates for your diary. If you're an AS student, the first exam that you're going to be sitting, SY1, is May the 15th next year. And then the second exam paper that you're taking is on May the 21st. If you're an A2 student, your exams are a bit later, so your first exam on SY3 is on June the 10th, and then your second exam is on June the 16th, the SY4 examination paper. We won't worry too much about the assessment objectives just now. We give you lots more information about exam skills and the way in which you're assessed as the course progresses. And if you're an AS or an A2 sociology student, you should follow the Park Sociology Twitter feed. So that's at Park Sociology, and you can search for tweets that are relevant to the topics that you're studying by using these hashtags. So in both AS and A2 sociology this year, we're going to be using a new learning method called flipped learning. And what we're going to do in the rest of this screencast is look at what we mean by flipped learning and look at the reasons why we're using it, look at some of the potential benefits of this new style of learning. And then in the second screencast on this topic, we'll talk about 4 strategies that will help us to implement this new approach in a way which is as effective as possible. So let's start with a definition of what we mean by flipped learning. So flipped learning is about turning traditional education on its head. It's about delivering instruction online through videos like the one that you're watching now, so delivering that instruction outside of class, and then moving the activities that would have been done traditionally as homework into the classroom. So what this means in practical terms is that for sociology, before most lessons, you'll be assigned a short video that you have to watch and make notes on before you come to the lesson. And then when you get to the lesson, more class time will be spent on interactive activities designed to illustrate the concepts that were introduced in the video lecture. And the video lectures we call screencasts. So we piloted this approach last year with a group of A2 students who were trying to improve the results that they got in a January exam module. So there were a series of lunchtime revision sessions, but students could only participate in those lunchtime activities once they had watched the relevant screencasts and had taken some notes. And the idea was that this would free up a lot more time in the revision classes to focus on exam skills and focus on applying the knowledge from the screencasts. And we made the video lectures, what we've called the screencasts, we made them easily available by publishing them on YouTube. And we have some evidence to support the idea that this approach can be highly effective. So these 9 students who took part in this pilot study, these were the grades that they originally got, and then after the flipped learning intervention, these were the grades that they got in the summer. So we can see that 5 students got an A, 2 students got a B, and 1 student got a C. So compared to their January results, on average, students improved their grade by the equivalent of 3.5 grades after the flipped learning experiment. So let's now have a look at why we think this approach might be useful. So here are some of the reasons that students have given for the usefulness of the flipped learning approach. So one student last year said that they liked the video lectures, the screencasts, because you can go back and watch it again, that it's helpful to be able to pause the teacher and listen to an explanation again. Another student liked the convenience of the screencast. They liked the fact that they could download them and listen to them on their phone whilst travelling, that was a good use of their time. Another student appreciated the fact that the flipped learning model meant that they had more time in class applying their knowledge and working on exam skills, things that they had normally found quite difficult to do on their own. And students have found that under this model, teachers have more time to help students and explain difficult concepts. So how do we implement this flipped classroom approach? How do we make this new learning method as effective as possible? Now I think there are 4 key strategies that are the key to making this flipped learning model work as effectively as possible. And we'll look at each of these 4 areas in the next screencast on flipped learning.